This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 16th day of March in the year 2026. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana Prison Service is seeing a drop in the number of repeat offenders, according to the Director of Prisons, Nick Elliott. He told the opening of the Guyana Prison Officers Conference this morning that the country recorded the lowest number of repeat offenders in the entire Caribbean last year. He believes various skill development programs done in the prison are offering opportunities to inmates to make them more prepared when they are released. Mr. Elliott told the conference that at least 1,000 prisoners are exposed annually to various training programs in technical and vocational areas, as well as entrepreneurship skills and academics. He said the prison population is also being enrolled on the Guyana Digital School platform to further improve their personal skills.
Overall, these efforts contribute significantly to the decline of persons committing offenses and returning to prison. Hence, Guyana have recorded the lowest recidivism rate of 14% within the Caribbean region. And we are working to further reduce this number.
The prison director also said the prison service has been working with the National Data Management Authority to digitize the records of prisoners and prison officers. He said 90% of the prison population records have been digitized, with the remainder to be completed shortly. Elliott has also stated that a number of prison officers are currently undergoing academic training at various levels.
With this level of achievement, the prison service is certainly on a path to further create a positive impact and to improve staff development and to adequately prepare prisoners for successful reintegration.
The prison director said last year was a pivotal year for the service, stating that the service reviewed the legal framework governing the prison service, including the review of the Prison Act, standing orders, and the strategic plan.
Measures were intended to ensure that the service operates and function within a modern, acceptable best practice framework and in keeping with your overall policy direction. Key achievements for the year 2025 saw the completion of the new prison headquarters building at Lease, the completion of the command center along with the upgrading of the CCTV system phase 1, and the completion of this project will be led by the National Data Management Authority, which will be done in keeping with the Safe Country initiative.
The prison director said this year's conference is focusing on several reform strategies to address corrections, technology, security intelligence, training, education, and the reintegration of prisoners, as well as legislative development and the impact of imprisonment and international law as it relates to the use of force. More news coming up in a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Dead the horse with Bowser.
This is your time.
Yeah, but we didn't get all we needed last Christmas, and now we can.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Let's renovate our home and purchase appliances.
And plan a trip with the kids.
Or buy a new car.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Same day approvals. Apply in person or safely online. Plus a chance to win lots of prizes. This is your time to get what you need. Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
What time is it? Teddy Bear Sundays presents Respectfully Yours.
Like this is respectfully yours.
Who's in the building? DJ Akilo birthday celebrations Saturday, March 21st at Royal Lounge, Chinese Mall, Georgetown. Entertainment by Super Ray, one-man band. Selector Big Papa, DJ Denzel, Father Moe, Gully Raz, and Moose. Lots of teddy bears, giveaways, and much more. So remember, it's the girls' teddy bear DJ Aquilo birthday party, Saturday, March 21st at Royal Lounge, Chinese Mall, Georgetown.
Like this is respectfully used. Don't be in a party.
We finance everything with Quartz Ready Finance. From educational expenses and those unplanned emergencies. Get it done with financing through Quartz Ready Finance. All you need to apply is a valid ID, proof of income, proof of address, and 2 references. Get quick approval and flexible monthly installments, plus credit protection insurance. Apply in store or online at quartz.com. Quartz Ready Finance. Ready when you are. Conditions apply.
STEM sits at the heart of oil and gas operations, where science, technology, engineering, and maths come together to solve real-world challenges. Embracing STEM builds confidence, talent, and national capability, and its impact goes beyond the energy sector. STEM helps protect our environment, improve safety, and support smarter decisions for Guyana's future. That's why oil and gas companies are investing in STEM opportunities for young people, because the skills we build today shape the nation we become tomorrow. Since oil production started offshore, oil and gas companies have been investing in the long-term development of Guyana. For more updates, visit www.oilnow.gy.
The senior minister responsible for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, has hailed the Inter-American Development Bank for increasing the approvals of loans to Guyana and net financial flows from the IDB group. Speaking at the 2026 annual general meeting of the Board of Governors of the IDB and the IDB Invest over the weekend in Paraguay, Dr. Ashley Singh said the IDB continues to ensure the development of critical sectors in Guyana by ensuring timely financing. He underscored the importance of policy-based lending as a flexible and effective development instrument, which he said Guyana has successfully applied across many areas over the years. The finance minister also emphasized the importance of tailoring its lending instruments to national circumstances, including greater use of country systems to strengthen ownership, efficiency, and sustainability. On the private sector, he said Guyana welcomes the expansion and the expanding role of the IDB Invest in the country, following its capitalization, and he posited that the country looks forward to increased engagement to support the rapidly emerging investment opportunities, including in areas such as transport and energy, infrastructure, accelerating productive diversification, and competitiveness. With Guyana's focus on economic diversification, Dr. Singh also welcomed the IDB Lab's continued focus on innovation, entrepreneurship, and private sector solutions, which he noted are essential for economic diversification and long-term resilience. He also reaffirmed Guyana's support for the IDB Group and its reform agenda. Dr. Singh has urged the IDB to expand and tailor its lending instruments to the country context, and for the bank to also recognize and use local systems so that it will allow them to respond to vulnerabilities in the region. Principal Magistrate Judy Latchman has adjusted the bail conditions for U.S. indicted businessmen Nazar and Azruddin Mohamed in the ongoing extradition committal proceedings. However, the father and son were cautioned that any breach would result in their bail being forfeited. The decision was taken in response to complaints by the prosecution of possible breaches. The Mohammeds were initially required to report to the Ranville police station every Friday between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. However, after reviewing the station's diary for the period November 2025 to February of this year, as presented in the court today, the principal magistrate expanded the reporting period. The U.S. indicted businessmen are now required to report to the officer in charge at the Ranville police station every Friday between the hours of 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. starting the 20th of March. According to the court, the Mohammeds will also have to sign the time of their reporting in the official station diary during the specified reporting period. In the case of a national holiday, they are mandated to report to the station the Thursday immediately before the Friday. And in the case of illnesses, a medical certificate must be submitted to the police and produced for inspection by the court. Magistrate Lachman cautioned the Mohammeds that the orders of the court must be followed. Special Prosecutor Glenn Hanneman had complained to the court that the father and son had breached their conditions of bail. Today he called on the court to not only reprimand the Mohammeds but to revoke their bail on the grounds that Azruddin Mohammed was absent on 3 occasions, while Nazar Mohammed was absent on 1 occasion. Alluding to the station diary presented to the court, the prosecutor contended that Azruddin Mohammed was absent on the 2nd of January 2026. He said the accused was also absent on the 16th of January and the 13th of February. However, he reported a day or two later on those occasions. In the case of Nazar Mohammed, Hanneman contended that he too was absent on the 13th of February, but reported to the station 2 days later. The men were also accused of reporting outside of the reporting period, in some cases reporting to the station much earlier or late in the evening. Hanneman told the court that the father and son are in a fortunate position, having secured bail in an extradition case, and are therefore obligated to adhere to the orders of the court and the conditions of their bail.
Her discretion, I respect her decision. I see no harm in her relaxing the timelines for the reporting on Friday.
And if they do not adhere to this new timeline, what are the...
Well, at some point, if the fugitive offenders demonstrate that they have no respect for the orders of the court, I would hope that the court will treat it very seriously. It could result in the revocation of bail. And it very often does result in that in other matters.
And telling the court that there are more breaches than compliance with the court's order, Hanneman said the Mohammeds must understand that they cannot report to the station as they see fit. Called on by the court to explain themselves, the father and son apologized. However, the elder Mohammed explained that he was ill on the 13th of February and was unable to report to the station that day. He said despite his illness, he made an effort to report to the police subsequently. The younger Mohammed rejected the claim that he was absent on the 2nd of January, but he explained that he was sick on the 13th of February, but reported subsequently. Their attorneys, Senior Counsel Roysdale Ford and Siondor John, said Hanneman's position is reflective of his personal interest in the matter, and they renewed their call for him to be barred from the case.
I think when all is said and done in this matter, one day we might study this case and it might become a textbook example of how a prosecution or an extradition should not be conducted in a court of law. And we were grateful for a very judicious exercise of discretion by the magistrate today. She took into account the fact that whilst Mr. Hanneman on Friday said they had only each reported about 3 occasions, and she also took into account the fact that Mr. Hanneman said that they had breached their reporting conditions more than they had complied with their reporting conditions. She then reconciled this by the station diary of the police at the Rumvelt station, which showed that Mr. Nazar Mohammed reported on all 18 times. On 18 times, the 18 times he was required to report from then to now. And Mr. Azruddin Mohammed, I think there was a discrepancy in 2 of the 18 records, and we explained that nevertheless he did report.
He said contrary to the arguments put forward by Hanneman, Nazar Mohammed reported to the police station in keeping with the orders of the court 17 times. However, he said due to illness, the elderly Mohammed was unable to report to the station on the 13th of February, but reported to the police subsequently. Ford told the court that Hanneman's application should be rejected for insufficient evidence. In turn, he submitted that the reporting requirements should be relaxed by twice monthly on the grounds that the accused have been reporting to both the court and the police on the required days. It was after listening to the arguments that Magistrate Lashman adjusted the reporting requirements and issued a stern warning to the Mohammeds.
Do use only the Massey Gas recommended Cosan regulator with your Massey Gas cylinder. It's leak resistant, designed to international standards, and automatically shuts off the flow of gas if your hose becomes loose or fails, adding an important layer of protection in your kitchen.
Team Extra presents its annual Easter Sunday Creek Explosion, performing live from Jamaica, Javinci, Granny Ivy and JJ Vibes. Music by DJ Bobby Cush, DJ Papa Feelings, DJ Magnum, DJ Garwin, David Hype, and Janus. Girls Dance Off Competition first prize $50,000, second prize $30,000, and third prize $20,000 at Azeza Akuza Creek outside Splashman's on 5th April, Easter Sunday. Early birds. Ticket $3,000. Tickets location White Castle Fish Shop, Fireside Suites, Just Your Size Boutique, HJ Box Office, Short Boss Boutique, and Team Extra Stabrook Market. Compliments of Fireside, Grill and Chill, Extra Ginger Ale, and Czar Lager Beer. Be a leader. Be a leader. Be a leader.
Dead the horse with Bowser.
This is your time.
Yeah, but we didn't get all we needed last Christmas, and now we can.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Let's renovate our home and purchase appliances.
And plan a trip with the kids.
Or buy a new car.
Republic Bank Cash Bonanza. Same day approvals. Apply in person or safely online. Plus a chance to win lots of prizes. This is your time to get what you need. Republic Bank Cash Bonanza.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washi me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Sections of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs incoming correspondence books were submitted into evidence today as the extradition hearing continued before Principal Magistrate Judy Lachman against businessmen Nazar and Azruddin Mohamed. The two books, the Office of the Permanent Secretary Incoming Correspondence Book and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Incoming Correspondence Book, came into focus as Defense Attorney Roysdale Ford questioned whether the Permanent Secretary, Sharon Rupchan, actually personally received the U.S. extradition documents from a courier, as she testified. Rupchan, who has been on the stand for several weeks, submitted the books to the court this afternoon, following an application from the defense. Last Friday, Rupchan told the court that on the 26th of November, she received a package from the U.S. with documents pertaining to the extradition request. The documents, she said, were delivered in a brown folder by a human courier from the U.S. Embassy. However, she was unable to describe the courier's physical appearance and could only say that the courier was male. Today, Ford questioned whether Rupchan had received the documents directly from the courier as claimed.
Line of questioning?
I'll only say at this stage that we do not believe that what the witnesses would have been testifying that occurred on the 26th of November actually occurred. The public will be following this case closely. We do not see anything to support the existence of the occurrence of this situation. It's hard to imagine documents so important, a permanent secretary receiving them, doesn't know the name, can't tell when they were brought, who brought them, can't provide a description of the person. It leads to the sort of conclusion which we have arrived at and on our own investigations would indicate that this is an event that never actually happened.
But Special Prosecutor Glenn Hanneman questioned the defense's line of questioning and the relevance to the case. He told reporters that the documents at the center of the case have been submitted and admitted into evidence. He said there is no doubt that the documents were received.
Something quite shocking today, where the defense is now saying, and this is the first time we're hearing this, basically that they believe that the whole receipt of these documents was some sort of fabrication. So they're now exploring whether the documents were actually received or not. And that is how they underpin that line of question and why it was relevant.
But
so I think it's good. The fact that the documents exist and are already exhibits in court, I mean, obviously, it's not a fabrication.
Last week, Mr. Hanneman had expressed hope that the cross-examination of the first witness would have concluded this week. But with the first witness still on the stand, he said he's losing hope.
I'm losing hope. All questions asked in any court have to be relevant questions, whether it's from the prosecution or the defense, at all stages. When the defense is cross-examining, in order to demonstrate that the questions are relevant, they should really lay a foundation first. Or they can give an undertaking that these questions will later become relevant.
According to the special prosecutor, the defense is employing a number of delaying tactics to drag the case out. The case has been adjourned to tomorrow, when Rupchan is expected to be questioned on the sections of the books from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that were submitted into evidence today. A new board of directors is in place tonight at the Board of Industrial Training, which falls under the Ministry of Labor. President of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce, Kathy Smith, will serve as the chairperson of the board for the period 2026-2027 term. The appointment, according to a statement, is seen as historic, as Ms. Kathy Smith has become the first woman to hold the position of the chairperson of the Board of Industrial Training in its 115-year history. Smith brings to the board a wealth of experience and knowledge accumulated over several decades. She's widely recognized as a prominent leader within the Guyanese business community and a strong advocate for private sector development and economic growth. Last year, she also made history when she became the first female president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce. In a statement, the Board of Industrial Training said her leadership experience and commitment to strengthening the relationship between industry and workforce development will be invaluable to the work of the Board of Industrial Training. The Minister of Labour, Keoma Griffith, has expressed confidence that the newly appointed board will continue to strengthen the role of the Board of Industrial Training in advancing national workforce development and expanding opportunities for skills training across the country. Ganesh Singh will serve as the vice chair, while the other members of the board are John Edgell, Andrea Benjamin, Yannick Garaway, Sheila Versami, Karen Ripchan, Disa Liverpool, Penelope Harris, Michael Turner, Krishna Sharma, and Suresh Singh. There are 3 ex officio members in Indrani Ramnarine, Jainamarain Sarju Sukpal, and Richard Vaughan. The High Court has ruled that Multi Cinemas Guyana Incorporated, which owns Movie Town, the commercial complex along the Rupert Craig Highway, breached aspects of a lease agreement with Magazine Marketing Incorporation, which operates the Hard Rock Cafe. However, the court said the cafe's continued occupation of the patio outside the cafe after the license was revoked was wrongful. High Court Judge Justice Nareshwar Harananan delivered a ruling recently in the case brought against Multi Cinemas Guyana Inc. by Magazine Marketing. The court found that Multi Cinemas Guyana breached the deed of lease when it failed to submit a budget summary after billing the cafe for services reportedly provided. The court said it concludes that there was a breach of the contract on the part of the defendant by failing to provide the budget summaries required within 30 days of the commencement of each service charge period. According to the facts presented in court in May of 2018, Multi Cinemas Guyana and Magazine Marketing executed a deed of lease to facilitate the rental of a portion of the premises. The parties signed a 10-year contract, which commenced on the 1st of May 2018. The parties signed a 10-year contract, which commenced on the 1st of May 2018. Under the agreement, the first 8 months' rental was fixed to facilitate the outfitting of the premises. The rental for year 1 was fixed at just over $2.4 million plus VAT, payable in advance on the first day of every month, commencing on the 1st of February 2019. The rental for year 2 was fixed at just over $3.6 million plus VAT, payable in advance on the first day of every month, commencing on the 1st of February. The deed of lease also provided for a monthly service charge, which was set at just over $1.2 million. Magazine Marketing argued that under the agreement, Multi Cinemas Guyana was required to prepare and submit a budget summary as to the expenses anticipated to fall within the service charge period. It said failure to provide the budget summaries of the service charges, despite repeated requests, resulted in a breach, and as such, the demand for the payment of more than $1.2 million with threat of withdrawal of services was unlawful. The court concurred. The court said the defendant breached the deed of lease by its persistent failure to provide the budget summaries. Justice Haranan, however, ruled that the mediation clause was not breached, as the condition precedent to its operation was never satisfied. Magazine Marketing, which operates the Hard Rock Cafe, had also claimed that Multi Cinemas Guyana had double charged on utility services provided, but this was rejected by the court. The court also ruled that Hard Rock Cafe's continued use of the patio after the license was revoked was wrongful. Multi Cinemas Guyana had filed a counterclaim for other arrears, but that was dismissed by the court for want of adequate proof. Magazine Marketing was represented by Abiola Wang Innes and Danwati Sugdi, while Multi Cinemas Guyana was represented by Ronald Burt Smith.
Guyana, are you ready? Boom! Oh, Lord. This Easter Sunday, April 5th, the original Big People Party is back, and it's better than ever. This year, we're turning up with big vibes at the Guyana National Stadium. Introducing your headliner, performing live, the one, the only, Farmer Nabi.
I want to go Big People Party, make the music take over me. I want to jump up all day, all night, all the way up all day. How I live it, better than them, how I look it.
It is the biggest event ever for Easter 2026. Grown vibes, premium energy, real celebration. Hosted by DJ Aquilo and Killa Milla. And powered by the best one-man bands. Early bird tickets are available now. General admission, $4,000. VIP, $15,000. Get yours online at hjexperience.com or at official ticketing outlets nationwide. Don't you wait. Be there.
How it look, the girls? You girls out there, how it look? It fry very crispy and nice, right?
The original Big People Party, Easter Sunday, April 5th at the Guyana National Stadium.
This event is brought to you by Hits and Jabs Entertainment, Marvelous Entertainment, and GD Events.
The bigger the better
edition.
Big People Party.
Oh, it is my job. Welcome to Churches New Amsterdam.
20 years of churches, chickens, you and us, and there is nothing missing. So many friends and strangers pass through our doors, and they always come back for more. Guyana, the love keeps growing, and we thankful for the support you are showing. We got so many locations and much more to come. It's gratitude and celebration. Can you feel the love? 20 years of churches, chickens, you and us, and there is nothing missing. So many friends and strangers pass through our doors, and they always come back for more. Feel the love.
Guyana, up your cash! Over 100 winners! More than $2.5 million in cash and prizes up for grabs. Win cash every week. Plus a chance to up your cash to $500,000. And that's not all. Win back your grocery bill up to $20,000 cash every week. Just grab any Buster Turbo Energy Drink, Fruitopia, Oasis Flavored Water, Fruita, or Viva Sparkling Flavored Water. Look for the code starting with BB, then visit at Buster Guyana on Facebook or Instagram for details. Up your cash today.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future.
Feel spice power in every sip.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Sunday that the United States could soon reach a deal with Cuba or take other action, signaling that developments in the long-strained relationship may come quickly. Speaking to reporters on Air Force One, Trump said pretty soon Cuba will make a deal with the U.S. The comments come as tensions between Washington and Havana remain elevated following years of sanctions, diplomatic friction, and disputes over migration and security, with regional allies and investors watching closely for signs of a policy shift. Cuba's President Miguel Diaz-Canel said on Friday that the country opened talks with the United States as the island faces one of its most severe economic crises in decades. Diaz-Canel, in a video aired on state television, said the talks are aimed at finding solutions through dialogue to bilateral differences. Diaz-Canel said he hoped the negotiations would move the long-time rivals away from confrontation. The country's economic crisis has been exacerbated by disruptions in imported fuel, which the island relies on to run power plants and transportation networks. Fuel shortages have forced authorities to impose rolling electricity outages across the country and limit some public services. The Ecuadorian government has deployed more than 75,000 police officers and soldiers to four of the country's most violent RAC provinces, the Interior Minister says. The authorities have also declared a nighttime curfew in these areas as part of a new phase in their war on criminal gangs. Since coming to office in November 2023, President Daniel Noboa has tried to quell drug-related violence, but nevertheless, Ecuador registered a record murder rate in 2025. Noboa has also joined a US-led alliance of 17 countries aimed at fighting criminal cartels in the Western Hemisphere. Ecuador's geographical location, sandwiched between Colombia and Peru, the world's largest producers of cocaine, has turned it into a key transit country for the illicit drug. Around 70% of the cocaine produced in Colombia and Peru is estimated to be shipped through Ecuador. Noboa's government has been working with the administration of US President Donald Trump to quell the flow of cocaine from Ecuador to the US. Last week, the FBI opened its first office in the country, a move which came shortly after the two countries launched joint counter-narcotic operations. And finally tonight, international news. Several U.S. allies on Monday said they had no immediate plans to send ships to unblock the Strait of Hormuz, rebuffing a request by President Donald Trump for military support to keep the vital waterway open. Trump called on nations to help police the strait after Iran responded to U.S.-Israeli attacks by using drones, missiles, and mines to effectively close the channel for tankers that normally transport a fifth of global oil and liquefied natural gas. Germany, Spain, and Italy were among allies that ruled out participating in any mission in the Gulf, at least for now. Other countries were more circumspect, with Britain and Denmark saying they would consider ways they might help, but emphasizing a need to de-escalate and avoid getting dragged into the war. Germany said the conflict has nothing to do with NATO, and Germany has no plans to be drawn into it. Spain said it would not do anything that could escalate the conflict, while Italy said sending military ships to a war zone would be interpreted as joining the conflict. NATO countries, several of whom have been at the sharp end of criticism from Trump in recent months, are wary of upsetting the White House, and some signal willingness to help find a solution, even if plans remain vague for now. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.